Jeong-dong is a district where the history of the Korean Empire blends with traces of modern Western culture. Strolling along the Deoksugung Stone Wall Road, you'll encounter historic buildings and beautiful scenery, making it a popular downtown stroll. In the late 19th century, when Deoksugung Palace became the main palace of the Korean Empire, the Jeong-dong area became a hub for modern diplomacy and culture, attracting diplomatic missions from Western powers. Embassies from the United States, Britain, Germany, and Russia established themselves here, serving as a conduit for the influx of Western modern culture. Religious and educational institutions from the early modern era, such as Jeong-dong Church and Ewha Girls' High School, also remain. Nearly a century later, the area has left its historical legacy behind, transforming into a cultural hub. Jeong-dong Street refers to the road that stretches from the rotary in front of Jeong-dong First Church to the Gyeongungung newspaper building. Though less than a kilometer long, the street embraces a diverse cultural landscape. It features red brick modern buildings, the first modern educational institution, charming restaurants, and Emperor Gojong's office. Traces of history remain intact, and the road is as romantic as the adjacent the Stone Wall Road. Deoksugung Palace has served as a temporary palace since 1593, just 1 year after the Japanese invasion in 1592, when all palaces in the capital were destroyed. Later in 1611, it was named Gyeongungung Palace and became an official palace with a court. When Changdeokgung Palace was rebuilt, Gyeongungung Palace became a secondary palace. As Emperor Gojong declared the Korean Empire in 1897 and assumed the throne as an emperor, the palace served as the imperial court and palace of the Korean Empire. Later, its status was elevated to befit the dignity of an empire. Western-style buildings were built inside the palace, blending the traditional and Western styles. In 1904, many of its buildings were lost in a great fire. The palace was again renamed Deoksugung Palace after Emperor Gojong abdicated the throne due to pressure from the Japanese Empire in 1907. When Korea was under Japanese rule, the palace shrank in size significantly, resulting in the demolition of most of its buildings. Making things worse, the palace became a part of the Japanese Empire's park development project, losing its dignity as a royal palace. From 1946 to 1947, the palace's Seokjojeon Hall hosted the first and second U.S.-Soviet Joint Commission. The palace restoration project has continued since then, transforming it into the palace that we see today. Seokjojeon Hall is a Western-style stone building that was built as Emperor Gojong's sleeping and living quarters. The name Seokjo means built with stones. The hall was designed by Harding, a British architect, and was a part of the national modernization policy of the Korean Empire. It is styled with the neoclassicism design from the West, and it features balconies at the front and both sides of the building. The ground floor has servants' quarters and subsidiary facilities. The first floor, which is connected with a stone staircase, is equipped with a reception room, a waiting room for guests, and a dining hall. The second floor has sleeping quarters for the emperor and the empress and several other rooms designed for their respective purposes. After its completion in 1910, the emperor used it as the reception room to greet high-ranking officials and foreign envoys. After the national liberation in 1945, the hall was used by the U.S.-Soviet Joint Commission 1946 to 1947, and by the United Nations Commission on Korea 1948 to 1950. Later, it served as the National Museum of Korea and the National Palace Museum of Korea until it was renovated in 2009. It is now used as the Daehan Empire History Museum. The National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art, Deoksugung, is a museum housed within a palace, housing modern Korean art. Its founding aims are to systematize the formation and development of modern art, establish the aesthetic and historical perspectives expressed in it, and ultimately, realize cultural identity. The museum is housed in the west wing of the palace's Seokjojeon Hall, a splendid example of modern architecture completed in 1938. It features 4 exhibition halls, a lounge, and an art shop. At the museum, visitors can experience the exhibition Homesickness, Longing for Home, designed to commemorate the 80th anniversary of Korea's liberation. This large-scale project illuminates the pain and recovery of modern and contemporary Korean history, as well as the collective sentiment of home, through art. Approximately 200 works, including paintings, drawings, and archives from 85 masters of modern and contemporary Korean art, including Kim Won-ki, Park Soo-kun, and Lee Eung-no, will be on display. The Seoul Museum of Art is a romantic space in the heart of the city. The museum building, with its nearly 100-year-old facade preserved intact, exudes a tranquil charm from its exterior. Built in 1928, it served as the Supreme Court after liberation and was transformed into the Seoul Museum of Art in 2002. The gentle hill leading up to the museum is charmingly decorated with beautiful flowers, trees, and sculptures, making it a popular walking path. At night, the old buildings and the newly constructed modern structures are illuminated, creating a mystical spectacle. It's a popular hangout for local office workers around lunchtime and a popular date spot for couples on weekends. Exhibitions by world-renowned artists are regularly held, most of which are free. Jeong-dong First Methodist Church, founded in 1885 by American Methodist missionary Henry Appenzeller, is Korea's first Methodist church. Bethel Chapel, built in 1897, is Korea's first Western-style Protestant chapel. This red brick Victorian Gothic-style building holds significant significance in the history of modern Korean architecture. The church began when missionary Appenzeller celebrated communion with Koreans at his residence. Along with the school, also founded by Appenzeller, it played a significant role in spreading modern education and Christian culture, particularly in the Jeong-dong area. It is also a historical site where many independence activists, including Yu Guan-sun, cultivated their faith and spirit of independence through the church. The original chapel, Bethel Chapel, now serves as a historical memorial hall, while regular services are held at the newly built main church nearby. Pai Chai School, founded in 1885 by American missionary Henry Appenzeller, was Korea's first modern private secondary educational institution. Its name, meaning a house for nurturing and learning useful talent, was personally bestowed by Emperor Gojong in 1886. The school's core subjects included English, astronomy, geography, physiology, mathematics, and the Bible. These were topics never taught at traditional educational institutions like Seodang or Hyeonggyo, opening students' eyes to the realities of the modern world. Many of those who attended the early school have left significant marks on history. Among the early alumni of the school, many have left significant marks on history. The school alumnus who had the greatest influence on modern Korean history was undoubtedly Ri Sung-man, the first president of the Republic of Korea. The School History Museum occupies the original classroom building. Inside, the classrooms from the 1930s are recreated. Ewha Girls High School, a private high school located in Jeong-dong, was founded in 1886 as Korea's first women's educational institution. The school began in 1885 when Mary Scranton, a missionary from the North American Methodist Women's Missionary Society who had come to Korea, began teaching a single female student. The school's name was bestowed by Emperor Gojong the year after its founding. It carries the meaning of pure and beautiful like a pear blossom, bearing fragrant fruit. Boasting a history spanning over 100 years, it has played a pioneering role in women's education in Korea. The school campus features a statue of independence activist Yu Guan-san, and her memorial hall commemorates her independence movement spirit and her student days at the school. The statue, along with the memorial hall, are among the school's historical relics, showcasing her participation in the March 1st movement at the school. Entering Jeong-dong Neighborhood Park, a towering white building rises. This is the last vestige of the former Russian embassy. The building is steeped in the sad history of the Russian Legation. Emperor Gojong, fearing for his life after the assassination of Empress Myeong-song by the Japanese, sought refuge here for a year. Most of the Russian embassy was destroyed during the Korean War, leaving only the watchtower. While there's not much to see, strolling through this historic site offers a unique experience. The Seoul Hall of Urbanism and Architecture was established in 2015 as part of the Seokjojeon Area Historical and Cultural Specialization Space Creation Project, a project launched by the Seoul Metropolitan Government to commemorate the 70th anniversary of Korea's liberation. The project involved demolishing the former National Tax Service Annex, a remnant of the Japanese colonial era, and restoring its historical value to the public. As the first dedicated urban architecture exhibition hall in Korea, the building spans 1 floor above ground and 3 floors below ground. The ground floor will house a citizens' plaza, while the 3 basement levels will be dedicated to exhibitions. The 5th Seoul Biennale of Architecture and Urbanism was held to showcase Seoul's status as a global capital of architecture. The exhibition showcases 25 architectural projects from 21 cities, 15 countries, each with its own unique expression, from the perspective of the architectural facades of global cities as the faces of their respective cities. This exhibition, centered around Seoul's major architectural landmarks, intuitively presents the city's transformation, encompassing past, present, and future from the perspective of its citizens. This panoramic exhibition captures 18 buildings and cityscapes of Seoul in the near future through the eyes of the human eye, overcoming the limitations of bird's-eye views and offering a chance to experience a Seoul for the people, as seen through the eyes of the human. The Seoul Cathedral of the Anglican Church of Korea, located in Jeong-dong, is a representative Anglican cathedral in South Korea. Its architecture harmoniously blends Romanesque and traditional Korean architectural styles. Designated Tangible Cultural Property Number 35 by the Seoul Metropolitan Government, it is also a significant historical site in modern and contemporary Korean history. Construction began in 1922 and was consecrated in 1926, and this cathedral was designed by British architect Arthur Dixon. Characterized by low ceilings and thick walls, the Romanesque style incorporates red brick and granite, along with traditional Korean architectural techniques like a tiled roof, creating a unique atmosphere. Les Mains Dorées, French for golden hands, is a place where you can enjoy coffee and bread made by artisans who consistently create delicious creations. A longtime neighborhood hangout in Seoul Village has now opened in Gyeongungung. It's a three-story building in Mukhyodong, between Seoul City Hall and Changdeoksugung Stream. The third floor features a space officially collaborating with the Danish furniture brand Fritz Hansen. Founded in 1872, Fritz Hansen is a Danish furniture brand renowned for its collaborations with world-renowned designers. The third floor is where you'll find the Fritz Hansen Lounge, where you can enjoy coffee and desserts while sitting on original furniture. Simply sitting in the chair will leave you feeling relaxed. This fall, Seoul's Dongdaemun Design Plaza (DDP) will present a large-scale immersive media art installation that blurs the boundaries between technology and art. Spectral Crossings is a media art exhibition that captures the moment when AI-generated faces and formless streams of emotion move along the light and intersect with the viewer. Unseen emotions are revealed in a fleeting moment of light. 144 custom-made kinetic crystal structures move like pendulums using robotic motors, while AI-generated emotional faces, lasers, and anamorphic screens are connected in a single flow. Through this process, the audience experiences the moment when emotional waves, along with light trajectories, expand throughout the space. The exhibition title, Spectral Crossings, refers to a scene where the afterimages of emotions, carried by light, traverse space, and the senses of different beings intersect. The viewer is no longer a mere observer, but rather a participant, a being walking through the flow of emotions.